The film's main character, a poor man named Akhil Lokhande, is viewed as a failure by his friends and family. For a pitiful wage, he labors tirelessly in the advertising industry to pay for his ailing father's medical expenses. He also makes time for his long-term partner Sakshi while shifting between assignments. She receives a marriage proposal from Akhil in a park one day. Sakshi gladly responds yes, but she also stipulates that her strict father must consent. Akhil is slightly offended by this, but he still decides to visit him. Sakshi's dad, Mahesh, is a man who is obsessed with money and will go to great lengths to save every penny he can. The avaricious man flatly declines Akhil's request for Sakshi's hand in marriage. He says that as long as he is alive, he won't let his daughter marry a poor man like Akhil. Akhil goes to see his best friend, depressed, Jugnu, if you need a break. The lengthy conversation eventually makes him feel better. Jungu even suggests accompanying Akhil to the hospital where his father is ill. However, when the two friends arrive at that location, they meet Akhil's elderly man, Raju, who is dancing and acting with a nurse. They also overhear him admitting that he was just pretending to be sick so that he could take advantage of the hospital's 5-star service. Akhil confronts his father, calling him a liar and a scumbag, taken aback. He has begun to wonder if the man is actually his father. Surprisingly, Raju admits that they are not related by blood, proving his doubts wrong. When Akhil was young, his biological father left him and his mother. Raju met them one day in a train that got into an accident later. The crash did not harm him or Akhil, but the mother did. Raju later adopted Akhil when the Indian government announced a substantial compensation for the deceased's families. His sole purpose was to seek compensation. When Akhil hears all of this, he is stunned and enraged, so he beats the man before going home. As Akhil laments to Jugnu about his pathetic life in the following scene, he discovers a chest in his house that he had never noticed before. He finds a locket with their pictures and love letters from his real father to his mother inside. In a shocking twist, it is revealed that Panalal Jory, an Indian billionaire living in Bangkok, is Akhil's real father. He recently passed away, leaving behind a massive $30 billion fortune without any apparent heirs. Even though Akhil's biological father has passed away, he is thrilled to be the one to inherit the $30 billion property. He believes that God has finally rewarded him. Akhil travels to Bangkok to attend his father's wake after celebrating with Jugnu. He meets Sheikh, Mr. Jory's attorney, there. Akhil quickly introduces himself as Mr. Jory's long-lost son and asserts his claim to the billionaire's fortune. He offers to provide evidence, but Sheikh accepts it. This is due to Akhil's striking resemblance to his deceased mother. Before she died in the train accident, Sheikh had met her numerous times. After the introductions are over, Sheikh gives some damning information. He explains that the late billionaire Jory transferred all of his property to someone else before he died, so Akhil is not the heir to the Jory empire. The specific individual is then revealed to be Mr. Jory's faithful dog, Entertainment. Akhil is shocked, and he refuses to believe that his father would give a dog all of his property. In response, Sheikh offers him comfort and explains that Mr. Jory attempted to locate his son after he regretted leaving his family after Akhil's mother passed away. However, when Akhil was not discovered, he became depressed. He once attempted the unthinkable, but the dog, he was saved by Entertainment. The two became extremely close from that point forward. Additionally, Sheikh asks Akhil not to refer to Entertainment as a dog. He explains that Mr. Jory always thought of Entertainment as his son and never treated him like an animal. Akhil starts cursing at his fate out of frustration. He is of the opinion that no matter what God gives him, he will in some way fall short. Jugnu soon travels to Bangkok as well, hoping to have a luxurious life with Akhil. He is, however, taken aback when his best friend tells him about the dog. Akhil makes the decision to give up and considers going back to India. But Jugnu stops him and tells him that he will never be able to marry Sakshi if he returns to India empty-handed. Instead, he suggests to Akhil that he kill the dog and take back what is his. The latter initially hesitates, but he agrees for the sake of his future. After that, Akhil goes to Sheikh and asks for him to take care of the dog. According to him, it's the least he can ask for. Sheikh, to his luck, agrees, but Akhil is made Entertainment's personal maid instead of the caretaker. Nevertheless, he and Jugnu begin devising a strategy to eliminate the animal. They seek assistance from the book 500 Ways to Kill by Accident. First, they attempt to electrocute Entertainment by using the refrigerator in the kitchen. However, the dog defeats their strategy and kills them by electrocuting them. The next day, in the hope of feeding Entertainment to wild animals, The two friends use a female dog to lure him into the jungle. Entertainment, on the other hand, deceives them and safely returns home, while Akhil falls from a height and suffers injuries. The two friends make another attempt to poison Entertainment's food, but the smart golden retriever outsmarts them once more. Jignu and Akhil learn about two brothers Karan and Arjun, who are Mr. Jory's second cousins, through their numerous failed attempts. After that, the camera pans to the central prison, where Karan and Arjun are being held for their role in the plot to kill Mr. Jory. It turned out that they wanted to buy his land. Entertainment, on the other hand, stopped them all the time and saved his master. The brothers devise an early escape strategy so they can celebrate Arjun's birthday outside, despite the fact that they are about to be released from prison in 2 days. The stepbrothers successfully carry out their strategy and escape. However, the mischievous younger brother prevents them from boarding their escape train during the final stage, Arjun's oversight. They are eventually apprehended and returned to their cell. Karan almost tries to hold his younger brother's hand after the two get into an argument because he is frustrated. Arjun is moved by this and wonders if Karan really cares about him. Even though they are stepbrothers, the latter also gets emotional and assures Arjun that he loves him unconditionally. After that, they come to terms with one another and celebrate Arjun's birthday inside their jail cell. When they learn that Mr. Jory passed away recently, the celebrations get even better. In the interim, Sakshi and her avaricious father, after learning about Akhil's billionaire father, Mahesh also takes a flight to Bangkok. They immediately meet Sheikh at his place. Mahesh immediately offers his daughter to the Jory Empire's heir after being amazed by the mansion's wealth. Sheikh is undoubtedly perplexed, and he rejects the proposal. However, Sakshi manages to persuade him by relating their lengthy history. Mahesh finally realizes that the dog has actually inherited all of Mr. Jory's estate when Akhil arrives with Entertainment. He continues to leave with his daughter in fury. Mahesh scolds Akhil for losing to a dog despite his pleas for another chance. In the meantime, Karan and Arjun arrive and observe the conflict from a distance. They are devastated to learn of Akhil's involvement in the situation, and they make the decision to concentrate on getting rid of him because they anticipate that the dog will die within a few years. In the meantime, Akhil and Jignu devise yet another strategy to eliminate Entertainment. This time, they intend to kill the dog in Thailand's frozen snow-white arena, a hilly region. Akhil brings Entertainment to the lake the following day and orders him to carry a ball over the perilously thin ice. Akhil strikes the ice after Entertainment gives in, and a large crack begins to follow the dog. Karan and Arjun simultaneously appear behind Akhil and fall to the ground, sending a second crack after him. Entertainment suddenly makes a U-turn and runs toward Akhil, to Akhil's surprise. The savvy golden retriever then jumps on Akhil and pushes him away from the threat. Sadly, it ends up in the freezing lake instead during the process. When Akhil realizes that Entertainment risked his life to save him, he feels an immediate sense of regret for his actions. He punches the ice with his bare hands as he frantically looks for the dog. Sadly, there is no sign of the dog. Akhil, devastated, breaks down in tears and starts cursing himself, but Entertainment appears immediately. Finally, Akhil is able to take a sigh of relief as a result of this. He leaves the mansion permanently after making an apology to the portrait of his deceased father. Karan and Arjun confront Sheikh when they and their lawyers arrive at the mansion in the following scene. They assert that the Entertainment, a private limited company founded by Mr. Jory with Karan and Arjun a few years ago, actually owns the Jory Empire. The brothers are the sole owners of the business now that the old man has passed away. Sheikh objects to the idea, claiming that Mr. Jory's will includes a reference to his dog, Entertainment, not business. However, Karan and Arjun respond that the word is not mentioned in the will by Mr. Jory. Sadly, the case is brought to court, where the judge rules in their favor. Karan and Arjun immediately expel the dog from the mansion following their victory. Sheikh is devastated by the incident and is close to giving up hope. However, after learning of the court's decision at the airport, Akhil and Jignu return. Akhil declares that he will acquire the property for Entertainment. He intends to divide and conquer the brothers. By saving them from Entertainment and his dog companion's attack, Akhil first earns their trust. He then takes advantage of this opportunity to get a job as a housekeeper at the mansion. Sakshi calls Akhil one day and tells him that her father is trying to get her married to an NRI. Alarmed, Akhil arranges for fake documents right away, which he uses to persuade Mahesh that he has finally inherited Mr. Jory's estate. After that is over, Akhil devises a strategy to split the brothers by making them both fall in love with Sakshi. The strategy is successful, and the brothers ultimately fight for her. However, they settle their disagreements quickly and decide to let Sakshi go. Akhil decides to take advantage of the additional flaw Karan and Arjun have, fear of the dead. Sheikh shows up at the mansion one evening to tell the brothers that Entertainment died of starvation and that his ghost will come back to haunt them. The brothers are even more terrified when Akhil tells them stories about a possessed animal. Entertainment scares them to death that night by acting like a ghost. The following day, Akhil tells Karan that there is no ghost when they meet. In order for him to frighten Karan away and acquire the property on his own, his brother orchestrated everything. Following this, Akhil makes his way to Arjun to inform him of the same thing. Jagnu secretly records the entire conversation on a CD when the brothers confront one another later. The brothers accidentally admit that they bribed the judge to win the property case as they argue. Thanks for watching my videos. Please hit that like button and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.